Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Kinda Pregnant, a movie about a woman who fakes a pregnancy, starring Amy Schumer and Jillian Bell. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 16 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. All right. Amy Schumer, her sketch show, not too bad on Comedy Central. Some of her stand-up, not too bad. The rumor I heard was Anthony Jeselnik was helping her with her stand-up early on when they were dating. I don't know how true that is. Now I find Amy Schumer kind of like, what the F are you doing? Now, this movie seems to be something akin to a return to form. This woman here is English or Australian. I can't really tell with her accent. Seems to be like the substitute Rebel Wilson. Seems to be a part written for her. Jillian Bell is very funny. You might remember from Workaholics. I'm not so sure why Amy Schumer is faking a pregnancy other than for attention, which seems to be a negative. That is a negative for a character. Like, if you're doing that and you don't have a reason, like, I get it if there's a reason. If the reason's just like, I want people to be nice to me and pay attention to me, it's not a good reason. That means you're kind of a jerk, in my book. But she's friends with Jillian. And then here, some woman is saying, thinks she's pregnant and is saying, making comments about her bloating and her fat ankles. And she's getting mad at her, but she then remembers she can't get mad because she's faking a pregnancy. February 5th, rated R for adult situations. I guess. It's not the least funny thing I've seen Amy Schumer do. That would be that show she tried to do with Michael Cera. That looked god awful. This looks at least kind of a return to form, and I do like Jillian Bell on the right there. She's very funny. She was very good in Workaholics. But this is a women comedy movie, so about being pregnant. Women in comedy complain, as a lot of women do, I'll say. And that one of the things they complain about is, women, every movie they're in is about a relationship or their vagina. That's not funny. I mean, if you were gonna make a comedy movie, for women, and try to beat the men at their own game and show us you don't need vaginas or relationships to do comedy, why would you do this movie? But setting aside that, what's her name? MacGruber's in it, who's so all that, it's kind of pregnant, looks kind of funny. It looks kind of funny. Usually when you have a movie about a character that's faking something, part of the thrust of the movie is why they're faking something. So, for instance, you could have had a storyline here where Amy Schumer has to fake a pregnancy in order to inherit money, let's say, from a dying aunt. I just have to do it for 2 months, and then she'll give me the money, and then, I'll have lots of money. But then she falls in love, and then realizes she can't lie to her new man, and then has to choose between inheriting the money from her, let's say, terrible aunt, or her love. And then at the end, she chooses the love, and then she gets the money anyway. Something like that. Because that makes her a redeemable character. Like walking around New York because you don't get enough attention and people aren't nice to you, and so you fake a pregnancy so people will be nice to you. It's kind of petty and stupid, right? Can it be funny? Kind of funny. Sure. But, you know, it's not enough to sustain a movie plot. Like, it's not enough. I mean, I get it. Kind of pregnant. That's kind of funny. But, you know, and Amy is wearing a fake pregnancy thing, and she's already kind of fat. So she already kind of doesn't need it. So I don't really get what they're trying to do here. Normally movies have some sort of message, and the message kind of has to be, even in a comedy, a bit front and center, because it sort of weaves into the plot, and it anchors the comedy in a reality that you can kind of get behind. I'm struggling to get behind her character because, okay, so she's kind of pregnant and she fakes pregnancy. It doesn't seem to be crucial to the movie and the plot. Therefore, is she faking a bunch of other stuff too? Is she a total con artist, lying about all kinds of things? Now that could be interesting too, but that doesn't appear to be the case. She appears to be a quote-unquote normal woman who just has this particular quirk that she's faking a pregnancy. But you can't fake a pregnancy forever. Eventually, you have to reveal that you're not pregnant or tell everybody a horrible story of how you lost the baby. So there are bits in the movie where she's got the fake belly and she falls forward on it. She lights her belly on fire because she's not paying attention. It's not really her belly. It's against the stove. While she's having a romance and having a fight with her best friend and her foul-mouthed, crazy Australian friend, who, again, probably would have been played by Rebel Wilson as recent. I bet you this was developed. This whole script was written with her in mind. But now that Rebel Wilson is thin and kind of not funny anymore, in my view, they brought up another chubby chick because, and this is another thing in Hollywood, fat people are associated with comedy. If you're fat, you can get work as in comedy movies, and that's kind of a thing. Fat people equal funny, sort of, not really, but that's been the association for many years. I guess it goes back to Fatty Arbuckle. I don't know. But that's just an association. So I don't really get the appeal of this movie. I guess it'll appeal to women because Amy Schumer has a bit of an audience. Jillian has a smaller audience. And it's just aimed at women. So maybe men maybe could see this. I mean, it might be tolerable. Maybe. Especially if your wife's already pregnant, I guess. I don't know. There'll be a lot of pregnant jokes. Not really seeing where this is going. Okay, so first act. Amy Schumer has a great life because everybody thinks she's pregnant, but she's not really, and she has a real problem. Second act. She meets a guy. She has a falling out with a friend. Doesn't know what to do about the guy and how to tell him that she's been lying all this time. Third act, she eventually has to tell him. They have a crisis, but they end up together anyway, and she patches things up with her friend. The end. I guess. It's comedy romance. Okay. So the bar's a little lower for that. Let's go to the IMDb. Comedy romance. Doesn't seem to emphasize Will Forte, MacGruber. Doesn't seem to emphasize Will Forte's relationship with her. Is Jillian pregnant too? I don't know. The story follows Lainey, who, being jealous of her best friend's pregnancy, begins to wear a false pregnant belly and accidentally gets to meet the man of her dreams. It doesn't seem to focus on that, though. It seems to focus on the women. He's not even on the movie poster. Weird. You're focusing on the wrong thing to try to promote the women, I think. Director Tyler Spindle, writers Julie Pava and Amy Schumer. Okay, let's see what Julie's credits are. How does Julie have no credits? She has no writing credits whatsoever, except for one short called The Secret. I guess. I guess that's a hire. I mean, I guess that's Amy's friend, but Amy, I mean, there are experienced comedy screenwriters all over the place, and you hire the one with no credits? Maybe she's a comedian. I don't know. I mean, Jillian, she's funny as F. Hire her. She could co-write this thing. So it's a bunch of women posing sexily with their pregnant bellies on the movie poster. But it's supposed to be emphasized the romance. It doesn't... You're doing this wrong. You're just doing this wrong, Netflix. Will I watch it? I don't know. Probably not. Amy Schumer is not super appealing to me. I kind of want to watch it for Jillian. Tempted to. If I did watch it, I mean, I wouldn't completely cross it off my list. I kind of want to, but maybe I would watch it. If I started watching it and it was really annoying, I'd turn it off. I couldn't get super invested. It would have to be like golden from the get-go. At least for the first 50% of the movie. If it was funny as hell for the first 50% of the movie, I'd watch it, but I kind of think it'll just limp along with a few lame jokes and whatever. But it might be more watchable than most of the Amy Schumer stuff, I'll say. That's my best guess. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Complaining Little Joan behind me. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget, we're on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. Again, for those of you complaining that you don't see me do a lot of political stuff anymore, I do it every day. It's on the other sites because YouTube, Anyhow, I'll be at the Wildwood WildCon in Wildwood, New Jersey at the Wildwood Convention Center on January 18th next week. And tomorrow, don't forget the live stream at 7, where I think we'll be probably talking about the LA fires for most of the show. Hope to see you there. We'll see you